Welcome to podcast 8 of the Free Pizza Podcast. And we're here with Lauren Lester, a peacemaker, P-I-E. I'm going to spell the rest of it. I'm probably going to embarrass myself. Smaker.
Lauren Smaker.
Lauren Smaker. But no, she's right here in Greensboro. And hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Thank you for meeting us early. It's like 10:46 and we're just getting started, and it's been a long night for most of us. Jacob and her are fine. Me and Anthony are hurting. But yes, so tell us about yourself. What's up?
Where do you want me to start?
I want you to start with where you were. Well, you've been all over the other country, so like maybe where you were born and raised, or...
Well, I can tell you where I was born, but raised, that's a hard one.
Yes.
I was born in Riverside, California.
Yes.
And my father was in the Air Force, so we moved around a lot. So I was in California, and then Montana, and then Florida, and then back to California. And now I'm here.
Oh, gosh. Mm-hmm. You've literally been just all over,
zigzagging
around, and now you're in the good old North Carolina. How do you like it?
I love it. I love it.
It's super, I'm guessing it's super different from the West Coast. So
oh, absolutely. It was like kind of a culture shock when I first got here, I think.
It's like, well, what is going on here?
Yeah, it's just slower in a good way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. And start where you are now. You own your own company, and what is that?
I own While Odin Sleeps.
Yes, and you're making what?
Jewelry. I currently make jewelry, but I kind of want to start doing more home goods stuff.
Oh, like what?
Scott and I made, Scott's my boyfriend.
Yes.
You know Scott.
Yes, shout out to Scott.
And we made like candle holders that were really cool. We did some, what else did we do? Mostly candle stuff, but I wanted to do like light fixtures and
oh, hell yeah.
I want to make doorknobs.
So like actual in-home things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Actual home goods.
Yes.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see you get into that kind of stuff, I guess, later on in the coming months, maybe, or how long?
Hopefully, once I have more space and time, I
Yeah.
think I'll start making bigger stuff, but
Gotcha.
for now it's jewelry.
Well, hopefully with the move to Boone or move to Lenore, you'll have more space because she's actually moving. We caught her before she was moving, thank goodness.
Right before.
Because I had to get her on here. I saw her page and I was like, oh my gosh.
So shiny.
Yes. So what piqued your interest, like, I guess, going back to the beginning of your journey? We got you started.
That was about 5 years ago. I feel like I've been saying 5 years for more than 5 years. So it might be like 6 now.
Probably 10.
Probably 10. Actually, I made it when I was born. So I actually never really wanted to make jewelry. Never in a million years did I think that this is what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
I wanted to do set design for theater. And that's kind of like what I went to school for.
Yeah.
And then I made a necklace for a friend as a gift. And her friend who owned a store saw it and then asked if she could carry my stuff. And I couldn't be like, I don't actually make it. I was just like, yes, I'll make money. So then I just made a bunch of pieces and gave it to her. And then another store asked for stuff and it just kind of snowballed. So it was like the opposite of most people where they're like, it's a hobby and I've been doing it for a long time. For me, it was just kind of like an accidental job.
Yeah.
But now it's like a hobby and a job. Like I definitely love doing it. But I mean, I don't really wear a lot of jewelry. Obviously.
Right. Oh, yeah, sure. You're not wearing it.
Yeah. So I love making it, but it's definitely not something I necessarily identify with.
Yeah.
But I went off topic.
That's awesome. No, you're good. No, you're
okay.
good. Seriously, you're fine. That was perfect because I want to ask you. So when you made that piece of jewelry for your friend, were you just doing it just for fun?
Yeah. Scott and I kind of talked about this the other day. It's like when people just make a lot of things, like you just like to make things and you just assume eventually one of them will stick or you'll be really good at one or you'll want to be really good at one. And that's kind of how jewelry was. Like I was just making stuff all the time, like whatever I could. And that was just an accident.
That's awesome.
I know, a really lucky accident. I'm super thankful that's how that turned out. But I think a lot of people, like, they start out making stuff and they want it to be a job. Yeah. And for me, it, like, started out as a job and, like I said, became a hobby. So it's like, hard for me to, like, talk to people when people are like, how do I make this my full-time job? Yeah. It's like, I'm glad that it wasn't necessarily my hobby at the beginning because I worry that I would hate it now. But I actually just grew to love it. It was, like, the opposite, like, route of it. But yeah, once I started making like a little bit of money off of it, I was still like working like 4 jobs because like living in San Francisco, which is where I was for 10 years. Super expensive.
What 4 jobs were those?
What's that?
What 4 jobs?
I was a bartender and server, and I did some other stuff. I worked at a hotel. I did a bunch of like odd stuff.
Just odd jobs.
Yeah.
Just kind of making ends meet.
Yeah. And definitely like in the service industry is where all the money is in San Francisco. So I did that. And then I was just like, I feel like every year I like cut back 5 hours. You know, it was like a really slow progression.
And
I started, cool. I know. But it was also like, we always like, Scott and I keep bringing him up, but we always like talk about like to have it as your full-time job, there's like a trinity that needs to like be in existence of like skill, creativity, and dedication. And I feel like dedication came first and then creativity and then skill.
Yeah.
But without like the dedication of being like, okay, I'm going to work 40 hours a week and then still do like 30 more hours of this, you know, and like maybe not even getting paid at the end of the day, but like knowing that I could get there. So Eventually. It was just like, it was super slow process, and like I definitely thought of like quitting several times, but
oh yeah.
But once you have like 100,000 pieces like sitting around, you're like, whoa.
You have a ridiculous amount of pieces in here.
Yeah, tons of amount of pieces.
We're in her actual studio or workspace, and there's a lot of things.
What did my sister call it? A she shed? That's like a thing, I guess. I mean, it's not actually a shed, but I was like, that sounds terrible and amazing.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. And it's kind of, I can kind of see what you mean, because it's a variety. This is stuff. It's great though.
A lot of lady stuff.
But I guess going back to it, you get to start taking seriously when you realized that there was kind of a money to be made.
Yeah.
And you kind of dove in.
Yeah. And like people telling me that I was good at something, you know, that's like really rewarding in of itself. So I think that encouragement definitely like helped spark even more than the money. Because I mean, the money was probably like $50, you know, for like the first month. But
it's just like, oh, well, it's something.
Yeah. You know, and the money and like the compliments was both incentive to like keep working. So yeah, it took like a long time. Like I started doing this completely full time probably 2 years ago.
Oh wow.
But even then it's like people are like, wow, you do this for like your job. It's like, but I literally have like the lowest costs of living, like purposefully, so I can have this as a job, you know, like
that's actually an interest. I mean, I don't know if we heard that yet. Like people just kind of like, I guess not really sacrificing, but like kind of like this living minimally.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So minimally. It's like never buying anything for yourself, like eating ramen. You know? But I mean, I can't complain, because it definitely like a huge thing that I didn't want to cut out doing this was traveling. So luckily it kind of helped. Yeah. It paid for me to travel to like go to shows and stuff. So it was like, that was a sacrifice I didn't want to like give up. But like jewelry allowed me to keep doing that. So.
And by shows, you mean?
Like trade shows, like markets and stuff.
That's what I was going to ask you next. Yeah. If you put your stuff, where was your first show? Do you remember?
I can't really, I think it was Renegade Craft Fair in San Francisco. It was probably like my big first one where I actually had to have a booth, which was really intimidating for the first time. Ooh. And being like the face of your work was like really
That's probably different. The wildest part is just sitting there. It's kind of like people coming up and talking to you about it.
Yeah, talking to me, and I was just like, oh. And also it's like, I think another reason, this kind of goes with that, is like why I don't really wear a lot of my jewelry other than I feel kind of weird in it, is if anyone's ever like, I like your necklace, I'd just be like, oh, thank you. And just like walk away instead of being like, I made this. Like, I'm super proud. But so shows was like that for me too. Like, people were like, I love your stuff. I'd just be like,
just like,
just like freeze up.
Just like, are you sure?
So yeah, that was like a new learning process.
Yeah. I like Waylon's here. Her dog's right here, and it's so cute. It's hanging.
You might hear him whining.
Oh,
whiny Waylon.
Little Way. So cool. So let's go back to you. I want to go to your home life. So how was it with, I guess, growing up at home with your parents? So were they creative or
no? Like my mom, I think had a possibility of being creative, but she always says that she just wanted to be a mom. So I'm one of 6 kids, so she definitely did her job very well.
Yes, good job. Shout out to mom.
Yeah. Is Mother's Day coming up soon? Is it this
Mother's
weekend?
Day's the 14th. It's next week. Next Sunday. Yes.
Oh, I knew that.
Yes.
In case she listens to this. Mom, I knew that.
No, she didn't.
But my mom was like really good at like drawing, and she's really good at wrapping presents. So if you need someone to wrap a present,
yo, where are you at? I need a present wrapped like right now.
We'll just email it to her. It's fine. So she's definitely like creative, but not like in a sense of she's always wanted to make things. She just did it like around the house, like sewing things. My stepdad and my dad weren't super creative, but I mean, they're in the military.
That was in itself is
they had other
work.
skills. Yeah. But growing up with all of my siblings was really awesome. Right. All of us like kind of made stuff. I was definitely like really wanting to make stuff when I was younger.
Yeah.
We used to like, I always used to like stage like events, like dinner parties. So I'd have like name tags for everybody, or I'd make like a little hair salon downstairs where everyone would come downstairs and get like their hair done. Aww. So we always did like little stuff, like self-entertaining stuff, because we obviously didn't have the internet. So
oh wow. Oh, good point.
Yeah, so we definitely had to like make our own fun, and I think creativity came out a lot.
That's exactly. I think a lot of kids who maybe didn't have that growing up, your mind kind of expanded a little bit more, and your imagination was a lot bigger because you didn't have that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So a lot more broad in the sense.
Yeah.
So that was probably. I wish I had that growing up. I was definitely all over the internet. So I probably
were you?
More. Oh gosh, yes. I feel like people who weren't were just a lot more creative.
Yeah, I don't think that we really had the internet until like high school.
Yeah.
Maybe even late high school. Yeah, it was not.
Lucky.
Yeah.
But so as far as you make little things kind of. I was always growing up. So what did you make back then? Just little. Maybe
I always like
bead necklaces or something. Or
I never made jewelry.
No? Okay.
Probably the first time I made jewelry was making that piece for my friend. Actually, it's not true. I used to make pug necklaces in high school.
See, there it is.
One of my pictures is like I'm wearing like an Invader Zim shirt and I have like a Hellraiser pog necklace. I was just very stylish. I was very classy.
Fashion was crazy back then.
Yeah, cardboard jewelry.
So cool. So. You studied theater. You say you studied theater in school.
Yeah.
In college or in high
college?
school?
Well, I went to school for visual communications, but I wanted to do set design.
Okay, cool. Did you do that at all? Did you jump into that field?
No, I never actually. I did like stagecraft in high school. That was probably what sparked it all. But as an adult, I never really did anything.
That's cool. It's crazy how many kids, probably including me myself, have these majors in school and you do it. You do the 4 or 5 years grinding and you don't even pursue it at all.
I know. If anything, it like squishes that dream for you. Where you're
exactly.
Like,
it makes it like I don't want to do this at all anymore.
Well, and they don't like. I feel like a lot of art schools and stuff, they don't teach you to like be like you. It's like they're like, well, that's cool, but like if you did it like this, people would like it more. And then at the end of the day, you're like all like just sheeple in a box.
Yep.
You know.
And you get out, and you're just like, I don't know what I am anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like all of your identity is just like whitewashed. It's very frustrating.
It's gone. So
yeah,
that's so crazy. So jumping into your jewelry because it's freaking awesome. Her stuff is so good. What's your creative process with that? Like, what you have a lot of moons and shapes and just a lot of stuff. So,
I don't really know how I start. I always like try to think of like how I start, but I'm like I'm better. A lot of people start with illustrations. I am not that person.
No.
Like if I have to start drawing stuff, it would never materialize. I'm more of like just make a bunch of random shapes and like look at it and like let it kind of like find its partner on itself, like figure out where it goes. So yeah, I just think that I just like to make shapes that I enjoy and then hope that it comes together in like a bigger picture.
That's awesome.
Accidentally. I feel like my whole entire experience with jewelry is just an accident.
It just happened by chance.
Yeah.
I'll jump back to the homie that bought her that you gifted the see, that's so cool. I think that's awesome how that got started.
Yeah.
That's cool. So throughout your 5 or 6 years of doing
somewhere
this,
between 2 and 10 years.
2 and 10 years, probably 20 years. What have you made any like kind of big connections that have really like pushed you forward, like as far as people, or are you getting some of these shows or?
I think just shows alone helped me a lot, especially find like a creative community that I think I always really needed.
Yeah.
And I definitely had it in San Francisco, like going to school, but like moving around a lot, even like after San Francisco, I think that just like shows in particular helped me like connect with just creative people who are makers. And it's usually like a lot of like really badass women. I mean, obviously there's guys that make stuff too, but at shows it's like,
shout out to the females.
Yeah. It really helped me like find like a really awesome community, like just like thriving off of like really confident, like creative people who are also willing to make the same sacrifices.
Yeah.
It's like really awesome. And that's kind of how I was in Greensboro, like just finding like a few makers, you know, and just like helping me transition to new places.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the question was now.
That's perfect. No, you said exactly what used to trade shows and just the different people just in the creative community and just kind of push you forward because
it's probably the biggest.
It's awesome.
Useful connections.
Yes, for sure. So I guess what, in your opinion, what is your, I say, biggest accomplishment that you've attained so far?
That I think there's 2 things. One, just doing this for a living is already more than I could ever even like.
Very true.
But after that, like once I got to a point where I was like, okay, now I'm like making enough money to not just pay my bills, which is usually what it was just like scrounging to get together every dollar to like pay my bills. Once I got past that and was making a little bit more money, I was like, well, I don't really want to buy things. So I figured like taking on like another adventure would be opening a store.
Yeah.
So the store that I'm going to be opening is the Phantom Vessel, and it's going to be bringing in a bunch of other makers. And
oh, yes.
I'm really excited. I just got my logo done the other day, and it's starting to materialize. But I think that, I mean, it's not fully materialized, but the process is like a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
And being able to like hopefully like hire somebody one day and like help other people, because obviously I was helped, by like being brought into stores. I would definitely like to like pay that forward. So that's my other accomplishment, is finally getting to a place where I can grow to like another step.
That's cool, because now you're probably that person that people are looking up to.
Yeah.
And that itself is probably feels amazing. Cause you have
definitely.
A nice following on Instagram and stuff, and I'm sure a lot of people are like, man, I want to be just like her.
I know. Well, I mean, I'm like, I know, duh. But, that's not what I meant.
I know, duh.
But as a person who looks at other people like, dang, I want to be just like that person, it'd be nice to like, I don't know, have that as an option for people. And with the shop, there's going to be workshops.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'll be getting people to teach classes from like sewing, like beer brewing, or I'll be teaching basic jewelry classes. And I used to work for this place called Workshop in San Francisco. Go ahead, do your shout out thing.
Shout out
Workshop
to the Workshop. Shout out to San Francisco.
Yeah, just all of it. But I used to teach at a class or help with a school there, and they taught a lot of really awesome classes, and I got to learn that process too. And like seeing a lot of people come in with not a lot of creative abilities and be around people who like do it for a living was really cool to like share that process with other people.
Yeah.
So I want to do that in Lenore, and I mean, I don't know how well it's going to do or like if people will be curious, but
people will be curious, I think.
Yeah, I hope so. And I just also like really want to import my friends. Like, come here, hang out. I will pay you, and you could like teach classes and like bond. And
that sounds awesome, people. Listen to that. Do it. That sounds incredible.
Help me pay my bills.
Yes, that's awesome that you help them help you.
Yeah.
And that's cool that you're so giving in that sense. You invite all the homies back to your workspace, and to kind of create that community there.
Yeah, it's also kind of selfish because I mostly just want my friends to come hang out.
But with all your offering, that sounds incredible.
Thank you.
It's a variety of things, so
really
I'm definitely gonna check it out for sure.
Please do.
'Cause that sounds really cool. So from the people that have helped you, that you've mentioned through your whole journey, your connections you've made, is there anyone in particular that you want to that probably means a lot to you, as far as someone maybe you look up to? It doesn't have to be a jewelry maker. It could be, someone that's really kind of stuck by you throughout the whole entire thing.
I feel like there's like a lot of makers that I'm like really blanking on now that I really all appreciate. But I mean, honestly, through this process, as far as like maturing my business and like opening a store, like I'd have to say Scott Hughes, my boyfriend.
Yeah, Scott.
He has been super inspirational. He's like such a hardworking, dedicated person, and he's so much more structured than I am. So it's like a really nice like person to have as far as like building framework goes.
Yeah.
So he's definitely been really awesome through all of it. Like super encouraging, and like he's helped me meet tons of people, and it's probably how I even know you, is like
that's very
through
true.
him.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely like a creative force to be reckoned with, I think.
That's so cool. Wayland's fine. I'm sorry, Wayland.
Come here. Or yeah, go to him.
Wayland's over at Jacob. Jacob's having the time of his life right now. So I guess if there is a deeper level to it, what does jewelry making do for you? Is it, give you some freedom? Is it therapeutic? Or
I used to think that it gave me freedom because, like I said, I could travel with it. But now it's like the opposite. It is like the most restraining thing that I have in my life, other than Wayland. It's like very, time consuming is an understatement. It sucks out every ounce of my being a lot of times. And like, whenever people are like, well, like how, I guess it goes back to like, how did you do this like for a full-time job? It's like, you literally have to like wake up at 9, go to your desk, and then be there till you go to sleep. Till most 9. Days. Yeah.
Back to 9 a.m., 9 p.m.
9 to 9, yeah. What is that saying? Or it's like, for those who don't want to work 40 hours a week, they decide to work 70 instead.
Exactly.
That is absolutely like my whole life. And it's like sucks because whenever like people are like, let's go do this, I'm like, I have to work. And no one's like saying like you have to work, but it's like once you wake up to like 9 emails, people being like, where's my shit that I paid for?
Shit?
Am I allowed to say that? Okay, I am.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's fine. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, sorry, Mom. So What was I saying?
You were saying,
oh, that's what jewelry does for me. It
yes.
takes away all of my...
All your time, but in a good way.
In a good way. And like there are some days where I like really don't want to go to my desk. But I would say like 90% of the time I absolutely like am really excited.
Want to go and just do it.
Especially if I'm like watching something entertaining. Because that's become like my social circle.
Yeah.
Right now I'm watching so much RuPaul. I love it.
RuPaul's Drag Race?
Yes, they're super inspiring. Speaking of inspirations, all those ladies are really inspiring. They're like better be women than I am. I'm like, what the hell?
So what the heck, dude?
Yeah.
That's dope.
But,
so that's cool though. That's like you going back to how hard you work. That's something that a lot of kids like get to. They want to do it, but like they don't realize that you're working probably long ass days.
Oh yeah, super long days.
You're like, yeah, I want to do that. Cool. So, well, this is what you have to do. So it's like, oh really? Okay.
And no one's telling you to do it. That's the hardest part.
Exactly. You don't have no one to answer to, so you can be lazy if you want, but then that's just your money.
Yeah, until you have like negative dollars in your bank account, and you're like, well,
I guess I'll go ahead and do some work.
Yeah,
and you're losing your clients, and then you just fail.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's so easy to like go backwards in owning your own business that I don't think a lot of people realize. It's like if you worked really hard and had like accounts or clients or whatever, and then you get to like a comfortable point and you're like, I want to take a break, they could all disappear in like a week. You know, like you have to constantly like check on them and like, you know, put on a smiley face and be like really accommodating. And so that's exhausting.
Oh man, that's wild. I know that feeling way too well.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have any hobbies outside of work? Do you do anything when you have time?
That's like my dad asked Scott and I that when we went to go visit him in Florida, and he was like, "So what do you guys do for fun?" And both of us were just like froze, like, "Wait, fun? What is this word you speak of?" Yeah.
Sleep.
Yeah. Eat. You know.
Oh, Waylon.
Yeah, Waylon.
Yeah.
He's like definitely a side hobby. Or no, he's like a full-time job too.
Two
full-time jobs.
Really, he's probably all the time.
But I love roller skating. I love roller skating. And
dope.
I used to climb a lot. And Scott and I always talk about climbing once we move.
You'll have plenty of places to climb up there.
And hopefully I can like structure my time a little bit better where I like actually take weekends off or even just one weekend day.
Or a day.
Or just a day. So I definitely want to like get out and start climbing more. And I wish I could combine roller skating with climbing. I haven't figured out how yet, but...
Yo.
I don't
know how you're gonna do that.
The front of the climbing shoes onto my roller skates so I can skate up and then awkwardly climb with like an extra 10 pounds of weight on my feet because that's really logical. Or it'll like be like weights where I can just like start building my upper body strength. See? And then once I take my skates off, I'll just like...
You can just skate up.
Yeah, I'll just skate up the wall.
Just skate the wall. That's awesome. So, cool. So, one down here. Where do you want to end up with the peacemaking? So you want to open your shop. Do you want to open multiple shops, or do you want to take your shops with you everywhere you go? Or
I don't know if I've ever decided where I want it to end up. I think that I want to either start working where I make more expensive pieces so I can make less.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I don't want to like get too, I don't know how to say it, wealthy. Not that making stuff is ever really... I'm not going to become a billionaire tomorrow making jewelry. Yeah. But I haven't really figured out where. I just know that I don't want to get too far where I become detached from people. I feel like when you see people on Instagram, they have like 100,000 followers and everyone's like sending like 30 comments of like compliments. I feel like you really start to lose the value in people's appreciation for you. And I think that I kind of want to keep it to like a point where I can still like do shows and meet people or like, you know, connect with individuals. And like, if someone's like, thank you, I can actually have the time to say, you're welcome.
Yeah, actually talk to them. And like,
Because I don't like it when you, like, if you put yourself out there as like, you know, like fangirl or fanboy, and then you're like, hey, like, I love your stuff. And there's like, okay, cool. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, or not even a response, just like,
that's what kills me. It's like, you get to that point where you just don't respond.
Yeah, you don't respond. And I don't ever want to be there, like be that person, you know? It just makes people feel shitty.
Yeah, it's like, how much of a butthole do you have to be? It's just like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, cool. That's awesome. I think that was a good way to go with that. Yes. So, cool. So, last one. Probably my favorite thing to ask. Your advice to amateurs and advice to people who want to do it, and maybe advice to people who are already, you know, doing it.
Be prepared to cry a lot and to make really good friends with your with RuPaul. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think just sticking with it is like half the battle. Like, people who are like have crazy talent and they're super flaky and don't have any follow through. It's like just because you know you're talented does not mean that you're gonna make it.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Or I don't know. Like, I think that just always growing your skills is a huge thing. That way you don't get bored of it. Like, between the two of like never like just what's the word I'm looking for? Like just coasting with like your creative process.
Yeah, go to flow.
I think that that'll like suffocate you. And just understand that you're just gonna have to work a lot and like be okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I think that it goes with the territory. Like there are sacrifices to have like the glorious job of going to work in your pajamas and watching TV all day.
That's very true.
It's not easy for sure, but
definitely not.
I think it's worth it. It's like worth the trade off.
Yeah. So put in the work, put in the hours, put in the blood, sweat, and tears, and
keep growing for sure. I mean, that sounds cheesy, but seriously,
it's you kind of get the same answer a lot from a lot of creatives, but it's because it's true.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've never met anyone who pays their bills who haven't had like a bunch of financial backing, maybe, but most people have started from the ground up. Definitely, we all understand the battle, and it's a very real one. But
yes, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's worth it.
You're out here doing it. Wild and Sleeps is doing very well from what I can see, and that's awesome. So you're definitely inspiration to me for sure, and us at Free Pizza, and hopefully to the listeners. But yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Cool, you're welcome.
It was painless, I hope.
It was painless. Well, sometimes it was a little weird, but just kidding. Waylon is obviously very full of pain.
Waylon's like, I want to go outside.
Yeah.
Yes, contact information. So what is your website, Instagram? We'll put this all in the description, but I don't hear you say it.
So I'm at wildoandsleeps.com. Go ahead, Bubba, tell them. So I'm at wildoandsleeps.com, and my Instagram is at wildoandsleeps. I almost said .com, but it's just at wildoandsleeps.
Don't put .com in the username because it's not going to come up. Wild and Sleeps on Instagram. Awesome. Thank you. And also for the listeners, if you're watching or listening on the podcast app, please rate us and please leave a review because we need the stars so we can get sponsors and we can feed ourselves. And on YouTube, just hit like or something. I don't know, just subscribe to Amplifier and support us. Thank you for listening. This has been Free Pizza.
Bye.